I'm Shanna. Duh, I'm super rich and I'm super sexy. So, hello guys, I'm Matthew Robrao, and I just finished watching Scream Queens, and it was really good. It was really good, and I liked it so much. And the Scream Queens series is it's like a horror film, a horror movie, but it's a series, and it's type of I love horror films, horror movies, so it's really good to have like some horror series. Is like previously I have watched Slasher and the Scream, and those were good. And this Scream Queens is also good, and I liked it, and I like this type of horror shows. Like it was like a kind of a parody-ish. There was like a lot of moments where it was tends to be funny, but we can. There are some moments in Scream 2 which tends to be funny. Slasher basically is more serious and more about the horror and the killing and the horror stuff. But I like this type of shows like Scream Queens, which is like there is some comedy in it. There was a bigger part of comedy in it. It was really good. I liked it. And there was the horror parts. They were also good. The whole concept was really comedy, especially season 2, or I don't know, maybe I'm not sure if there were more comedy in season 2. I think there were more comedy in season 2. There was two different approach. In the first season they were like more on the mysterious side, but in season 2, especially in the second part, they revealed who were the killers, which was an interesting approach, because in horror movies they don't usually do that, so they don't usually reveal who the killer is until the really last second, and then they explain everything after in the other shows. And like in season 1, but in season 2 they really just revealed early on. Let's say in the second half they revealed who the killer is. Like one killer was revealed, and then from time to time they revealed all three killers. Yeah, I'm talking about season 2. There's like so much thing to talk about it, because it was like a really interesting show. And there is like Cassidy, and there is like Dr. Brock, there is like Cassidy's mom, there is like the season 1. I haven't even talked about season 1. I haven't even talked about like how the basic group of channels survives everything throughout the 2 seasons except channel number 2. Like, why did they write her out so early? Like, Ariana Grande is a famous singer. Maybe she was not that famous at that time when they were making the movie. It's sad that she just got written out, yeah. And like a lot of season 1 characters doesn't return in season 2, like Grace, for example. Yeah, Grace is the only one who survives actually, so I was just, never mind what I said. Just scrap the last sentence. Yeah, from season 1 I really liked a lot of people. Yeah, and Chad Redwall just got murdered in season 2. That was like a really big surprise for me, because yeah, like literally anyone can die at any moment. They reminded me of that, because there were some characters who seemed invincible, but yeah, as he died, it was shocking me that no, anyone can die, exceptional. Because yeah, she was like the main character. In season 1 there were like the journalist guy, was he Pete, I guess his name was Pete. Yeah, and there is a really interesting thing in Scream Queens, that there are like multiple killers in other horror movies that are like basically a lot of times there are like just one or two killers, and here there are like three killers each season, three main killers, but there are like other people cooperating with the killers in the killings, and there were like other people like Chanel who accidentally killed someone or tried to kill someone. Yeah, so it was like an interesting twist in Scream Queens that happened. And Chanel, Emma Roberts, she's like, she could live all her acting fantasies, or this because the role of Chanel was so good for like acting, and you could express a lot of feelings. Like Emma Roberts could express a lot of feelings when playing Chanel, so it was like a really good role for her to take, and she did it good. She did a really good job, and she was like having fun. I can tell for sure she was having fun and playing like the really crazy rich mall girl who is like mean to everyone and who is like a really egoist. Like I wanted to like do some impressions of it, like number 5. We don't care about your problems. I'm Shanna. Why doesn't anyone want to date me? Ah! Why? You here, you little piece of I will find you and murder you! Why doesn't anyone like me? Why? I'm gonna be a famous media. I'm gonna be a famous person in the TV shows. I'm gonna have like a news reporter, and I'm super rich and I'm super sexy. So like, yeah, everyone wants me. I can't believe this. There's a crazy killer behind me. Like, help me. And yeah, I really liked channel number 3, who had this vibe, like melancholic vibe, like sadness and sadness vibe, and yeah. Hello guys, I'm number 3, and I have no feelings. Hey doctor, what is your name? Your doctor. I'm number 3. My name is Doctor Number 3. But seriously, let's go to the mall and buy some clothes. I really like them clothes. I really like clothes on myself. I'm not showing my ears because I just don't. I don't show my ears. It's just you can't see them. Not for you to see them. I'm number 3. Imagine Lea Michele from Glee playing a psychopathic killer. Like, that's amazing. And even like the style and the talk, and even the style was similar. Like, she talks so fast, and she wanted to be number 1 in everything, and she knew everything better than everyone else. So that was just, yeah, that was so intense. And that was just such a scary comparison, like a teenage high school student and a psychopath. Like, that was just so weird, yeah. quite interesting. Like that role was, yeah, that her acting style was fit for this role, and it could be easily made her into this to really do this. So it was a good choice for her to take this role. You know, if they would kill everyone here and we could be going to some nice place to a vacation forever. Just me and you, my boyfriend. And I'm super sexy. So, you know, we could be together forever and no one will bother us. And we don't have to be worrying about killing each other because that's not gonna happen. Because there will be some tourists who we can kill. So don't worry. So don't worry. We will be happy. We will be happy together, and we'll just just find some tourists to kill. So don't worry. I'm Hester. I'm Hester. I know everything better than you, and I'm demanding that I'm gonna be the number one in everywhere. I'm not gonna be in a shadow of Shanna or everyone else. I just want everything that Shanna has. Yeah, everything. And I'm gonna murder her if I have to. Because no one is better than Hester. It was the perfect disguise. A neck brace is like the most perfect disguise because no one would suspect me with a neck brace to be even as a person. It just made me so invisible. And no one, no one suspected me so I could be a serial killer. I only kill one person. But I'm a psychopath, so it's no problem for me to kill, and I have the urge to kill. But don't worry, I won't kill you. I'm still hot, and you can play with my body all day, as long as we are killing people with each other, because that's an important step in our relationship. Okay. American Horror Story is like another horror series, and I could saw some similarities. Like there is this thing in these horror shows. Let's introduce my ideas through an example in Scream Queens. So Hester was accused of murder, and she was put to jail. She was put to an asylum for criminals, and she really wanted to come to the place where the whole killing were happening, and like the police woman and Dean Munch, they didn't really want it to happen. They were opposed to it, but then Hester like managed to persuade them, and so she could get to the hospital, and then later on she managed to convince the policewoman Denise to let her out, and then apparently no one was opposed to her being free. Before that, everyone was like thinking of her as a really big threat and a serial killer and a maniac, psychopath killer, but from a point they just don't really cared about it, and it was really strange for me. But this is not a new thing. There were a lot of different shows where this happened, especially in horror series, like in American Horror Story. Someone is just stops being a threat. There is like a huge evil person like Hester, who is such a big threat and such a big evil, and suddenly she just switched sides and she is not a threat anymore, and she is just in the action with the main characters. And I think it is because you have to build up the story, you have to keep things happening, you have to keep things interesting. You don't really have a lot of time to wrap up this one person, and you can keep the focus on her, but you want to keep her in the picture, so you just kind of move on. When there is a killer, the suspicion always wanders from one person to another person, and that part, when a person is accused of being the murderer, they just seem like a big threat, and then the next moment they become a good character again. So it is very similar to that. So Hester couldn't even be the killer because she was locked up. So it's a similar situation, but it's not the same. Yeah, so that's how I could explain to myself how did Hester become one of the good characters. Maybe it is a common thing in life that you are careful with a threat, let's say with a threat in the beginning, but then if it kinda out of the box, if it kinda happened, like Hester escape, like get out of her cage, then they just don't care anymore. It just happened. There's like nothing to do about it. Yeah, so, or like that. So that's how I explained it to myself. Yeah, it was interesting. Red Devils and the Green Meanies. It was fun. The costumes were good. I think I'm gonna wrap this up now. I would really much like to talk about things more. If you are interested, then leave a comment and I will maybe do another episode of Scream Queens. I liked it and it was fun. So if you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, press the like button, and as I said, leave a comment about what you think about Scream Queens, because this is a conversation between me and you, and currently just I'm talking, so let me know what you think about Scream Queens. My motto is be happy in your skin, so do that, and goodbye.